I interviewed Michelle Romano about the sale of her first company, which was the precursor to her becoming a dragon. So I chatted with Michelle, but I'd be curious from your perspective what it was like.
Yeah. So ironically, Michelle is the one who ended up investing.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I guess it's a few different types of conversations. So let's take the business aspect out of it. So valuations, financing. I actually recommend that all founders go through the show because it really gives you an opportunity to test who you are as a founder and your ability to walk or to walk the walk if you talk the talk. So I always say from a personal development standpoint, you should go do it because it's a great challenge as a founder. And to be honest, it's probably one of the lighter challenges you're going to face. And I'm saying that in the sense that if you can't handle going into Dragon's Den, business is probably going to chew you up and spit you out. Like this is going out there and pitching a bunch of people on TV. That shouldn't be your biggest challenge. So for us, it was an amazing experience. We've always been like, once again, didn't have any money growing up. And I always kind of talk about this, like hard work is never a scary thing for people that had nothing growing up. It's because we're used to hard work. The problem is we never get opportunity to show how hard we can work. Right? Vice versa, where it's okay, well, you've got everything handed to you and now you actually have an issue with potentially being lazy or productive. So kind of came from that mentality and always just been like a go-getter and, like pretty much like a keener, I guess would be the word. So to where I'm going with this is that we showed up 3 hours early to the audition in Barrie. So we, had heard from people that had been on the show before how the process works. It probably has changed now, but they do the audition tour. They fly across Canada. The producers go out and you go to these different cities to audition. So idea is you kind of want to go to one of the slower cities because then there's less competition and they do pick a certain amount per location. So we did Barrie, Ontario, which is probably like 3 hours from where we were in Kitchener. Showed up 3 hours early, and it was actually at a college or a university campus. And we get there, and of course, there's nobody there. So we start walking around, and we see like a lineup of people signing up, and we're like, okay, great. I guess there are a couple people here. It's not too bad. So we get in line, and we get to the front of the line, and they're like, "Hey, do you have your student card?" And we're like, "What? Like, are you not in this exam?" So we'd actually gotten into a line for the exam sign up. So we found out that we just got there so early, no one was there yet. So anyway, long story short, you go through that process, and then they give you a heads up as to whether or not you get to go and actually pitch the dragons. Just because you pitch the dragons, it doesn't mean you're going to air. So once again, my experience with it was great. They definitely try to make TV out of it. So what I mean is if you've got cracks in the armor, like they're going to sniff it out and they're going to be like, you're going to make a really good, mess up video. So
what was the weakness that you self-identified in the questionnaire in advance?
We had said, so we knew you got to keep it light. I'm like, if we say some sort of actual skeleton in the closet, I couldn't remember what it would have been at the time, but every business is, whether it's, we only got a bit of money left or whatever. But I think we just said, is the market ready to have meat delivered in the mail? And that was the big issue at the time because people had gotten used to having meal kits delivered. But because a meal kit, you have a different expectation. And when you visualize a meal kit, you think about the green and you think about the spices and you think about cooking it. You don't immediately think about thawing meat. Whereas when you're selling exclusively meat, that is actually the first thing that jumps into your brain. You're like, how does that show up? Not
on a hot July day at 40 degrees or 40 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, what's going to happen to my meat? I'm assuming you had some sort of cold storage mechanism that.
Yeah, we use dry ice. Okay. So that was one of the things that we dove into on the show. So on the show itself, you get the opportunity when to pitch. So it's like, you guys have been accepted. When do you want to pitch? The beginning, the end. And of course, I'm like, I want to pitch on day one. Don't know why. I was like, day one, put all my eggs in the basket of, if you do it in the beginning, maybe there's a risk that they're holding out because they want to keep seeing better pitches and see what happens. But on the flip side, I'm like, look, I can only imagine what it's like to film for 30 days and hear a lot of the same pitches. I also don't want to go near the end when you got, dragon. Like, dragons are humans, right? And they also are running their other businesses. I wouldn't want to be in the den when you got a bunch of tired, anxious dragons. So
you maybe tapped out and already made a few investments. They're like, I'm already extended or whatever here.
Exactly. So there's a lot of strategy behind it in that sense. And of course, as soon as we get there, they're already changing pitches on people. So you work with the producer to iron out your pitch. And right before you're going to go out there, you get a final walkthrough from the producers and you get the final sign off. But some of them, they're like, oh, you got to change this. And they're like, what do you mean? You already approved this? And you can kind of tell, you're like, wow, that's tough. But we were the second pitch to go, and the girl in front of us came out crying.